Okay, we are red. Red is on, time being 4:50.
Today is Thursday, January 11th, year 2018, and it's 4:50. Let this meeting of the Tilton Board of Selectmen now come to order. Please let the record show. Ashley has not joined us as of yet, but I believe she's on her way.
No, you got it backwards. She's gonna be sick.
Oh, so Ashley won't be joining us tonight. All right, sad. Let us stand and do the Pledge of Allegiance, please. Pledge of Allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Minutes. What do we have, two sets, 21st and 28th?
Yes, please.
Take a look at December 21st, please. I haven't read these at all.
Look at them, they get it.
I saw that. Nice try.
Some of us know better.
Make a motion, we accept the minutes as written, unless somebody else has something.
Second? Discussion? I believe they're still reading. You good? You good, Peter? All those in favor of the motion on the table, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposition, abstentions, motion carries. You have information on the landlord lock tax deeding property, Joyce? Or did we take care of that last week?
We took care of that.
We completed that? I just can't remember. And did Joe Jessamine accept that representation to the...
Did Joe Justin? Yes.
He did accept?
Yes.
Very nice. Okay. All right, we have 5 minutes. Let's look at December 28th, please. Minutes.
Yes. So I do have to talk about it, right? Oh, she's reading the minutes. So why don't you... You've been working too many hours.
I know that this sounds really anal. But under Selectmen's report, Selectman Constantino reported she had received several complaints, phone calls this week on conditions of the sidewalk. Then she said, she mentioned she had spent time with the dispatchers. Can we just say police dispatching?
Okay.
Because first we talk with Public Works, and then in the same paragraph we go right into police. Just like that, broken up. Make a motion, we accept them in the minutes as amended.
Second.
All those in favor of the motion on the table, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. I don't think we resolved the issue of the landlocked property.
No, we did not, I misspoke, I'm sorry.
Yeah, but
Here's bring it
you're
up.
gonna
It's up here.
get that in your list, because I didn't,
No, folders.
There's a thing in your packets as well related to that.
I got old business. I have this one.
It says tax deeded property.
Okay. But I don't see Joyce's list.
No, we don't have Joyce's.
No, you don't have.
Okay, all right, I'm good.
Yeah, I emailed it to the board.
She likes to help.
Shall we go straight to the Public Works Director?
Look at this, we're right, oh, we're 3 minutes early.
We shouldn't have said that out loud.
No, we shouldn't. Jinx.
That's gonna happen now. Good evening.
How are you?
Good. End of the day.
Does this stuff have to be non-public?
What is your first discussion?
The hiring of a new employee?
Depends on what we talk about. We're gonna talk about skills and names and previous,
I believe so, yeah.
and that should probably be non-public. Okay.
I wasn't sure, so I'd say.
Okay, we're just gonna go into non-public session for hiring new employee.
Second.
Roll call vote, please.
Fogg, yes.
Constantino, yes.
Dawson, yes.
Scanlon, yes.
Camera, please. So we'll have to come back in.
We are red, red is on.
All right. Public discussion with the Public Works Director. Do you have anything for us? We have a couple for you.
Yeah, no, why don't you go ahead?
Okay, so we have been acknowledging our employees who have served a significant amount of time working for the town. And tonight I have one for John Bilodeau, who has worked for us for 15 years. Now, we certainly could have asked him to come in to receive this, but we felt that rather than impose upon his private time with his family,
What
we
little of
would
it?
give this to you,
Okay.
to give to him, and
Certainly
showing
do that.
our sincere appreciation for those 15 years of service.
I'd be very happy to receive that.
Pig roast.
I also have a card that was sent to us, received on January 3rd,
Yep, yep.
and I want to read it into the record. I'm not going to read who sent it, but I'm going to read it into the record, because we just went through some extraordinary weather, and I can't even remember 2 weeks of that kind of cold. And I think it's nice to get this kind of acknowledgement when we have something unusual like that. So, to whom it may concern, we reside at 230, well, I'm not even going to finish that, and travel the road
One of the Tilton's roads.
a few times per day. Travel that road a few times per day, okay. Over the past 10 days, we noticed ice buildup on the road. It was getting more dangerous each and every day to travel on that road. On January 2nd, I called the town office and they gave me the highway department phone number. I called and left a message. 2 hours later, someone called to let me know that they worked and tried to clear the ice as much as possible, considering the icy temperature. Also, they will follow up within the next 2 days as the temperature goes down or goes up. We are very lucky to have such dedicated and hardworking individuals at the Highway Department. I called Gail about my experience and following it by this note to let everyone else know how much we appreciate our Highway Department employees and their hard work keeping our roads clear and safe.
You just sent it really needs to be
So,
well done.
if you want to share that with them,
Okay.
that would be great. Does anyone else have anything for
I do.
Brock?
Go ahead.
Excuse me.
The 2017 F-550, where is it?
Middle of February, I just called, I've been on the phone with them. They've had it at Fairfield since October 15th. They said because we did it late, they're used to getting them in March at budget time, and we did ours late, so we were at the back of the list. Now, when the truck's registered, it's inspected, it's insured, it's been down there. I've been down several times to check on it, and he finally called me back yesterday and said, my boss just came in and said, we'll have it in the middle of February. And I said, well, that's kind of unacceptable. And he said, well, that's the way it's going to be right now. We've got 15 trucks in here. So,
What's on it now? Is it just the F-550?
just the 550 with
So
a
no
bed,
plow, nothing?
nothing on it.
So we can't even plow?
We're making do. It's,
Is there any other game in town?
Can Donovan do that?
Yeah.
we can't cancel it now. We've already ordered all the stuff. All the stuff's already been ordered for it.
Through
And Donovan was
through who?
considerably,
Fairfield?
yeah, because Donovan was a lot more expensive.
Oh, I would never do business with Fairfield again.
I've really got a sour taste in my mouth for Fairfields. But at this point, they're the only ones that carry Fisher.
Donovan
Fisher.
does Fisher.
Huh?
Donovan does Fisher.
Well, it's right down the street if we break a plow piston or something. And I've actually been weaning away from that because all motorsports is cheaper than,
Yeah.
I've been going and getting my
Yeah,
stuff
that's
over
where I
there.
got my snow foil back in the
Because
day.
it's cheaper than them, so I've been kind of branching off and finding where I can, right now we're kind of at the mercy of Fairfield till we get this truck, but I can, like I said, they've left a sour taste in my mouth, and they never used to be like that.
But you're working around it.
Yeah, I am working around it. We're making do with.
Anything else?
I do. You had?
Go.
I had the opportunity to go out in the storm with Brock. And one of the things that I really was stunned by was the inability for them to communicate with each other. Now, I'd had a long conversation with Brock. The radios that they have in their car, in their vehicles right now are way outdated. You just 2 streets over, calling Lee, or calling Kevin, they're not responding. You could be, Lee was on Ridge Road, we were on Lancaster Road, and we couldn't talk with him on the radio
Till we got right to the bottom.
till we got right to the bottom of Ridge Road.
Till he was in sight.
I really feel that this is an extreme safety point for the highway department. When they're out there at 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, after already 16 hours of driving, if one of them gets stuck in a spot where cell phone use is not very good, and we have a few spots in the town of Tilton that have those no cell phone use, they're not going to be able to communicate with anybody unless somebody happens upon a truck. And I think it's time to get an estimate, get a price, and put it in a warrant article this year for them.
What's your issue? Is it the fact that,
Radios are very expensive.
well, then,
I would
Get
like,
new radios, if we're running off the same repeaters, are you gonna improve, or are you still gonna have the same dead spots?
I think what I would like to do before we go into doing warrant articles for the radios is go over and talk with them at Ospey Mountain and see if these radios can be upgraded to where we can use them, because our functionality is different from what Bob needs for his stuff. It is, we're truck to truck, we're not
Right.
calling Belknap County, we're not calling Lakes Region, we're truck to truck. So if there's something that they can do to upgrade these for a lesser amount of money, that I think that's the first option that we should look at before we start putting.
But you
warrant
should
articles
also
in
be
there.
able to communicate with dispatch.
That's a whole different radio pad, that's, you're talking
Well, one of you
digital.
should anyway.
Yeah, I have one, that, I can, I
Oh,
can.
cell phone.
Okay.
I can communicate with dispatch with my handheld radio, I can do that.
I think that it's something that we need to start looking into.
John,
It's a
go ahead.
serious thing.
These worked before.
Well, no, Dennis had issues with them.
Well, I know a
At
year
one
ago,
point they
when
were.
I went to, or 2 years ago, I went to a training with the guys, a year and a half ago. They were many miles apart, communicating. So I think, like Brock said, to have somebody take a look at them.
Yeah, maybe the
Sometimes
antennas are outdated,
The
maybe.
antennas go bad, the connections go bad, and
Well,
there's things like
let's
that.
get it done
So-
then, because we
All
know
right,
how
I
to
just,
do it.
yeah, no, I know it is something that we've been,
In order to do that, we either need to put the money in the budget for him to do that, to go to OSPI and say, if there's an antenna or this or that, we have to be able to do that now, to either put money in the budget or go out and get estimates to see what it's gonna cost to update, upgrade, or fix.
right, I think that's.
That's why I'm
the
bringing it
better-
out.
I think that's the better route. Let's take it over there, let them look at them and let them say, okay, this radio's good, we can make this one work. Okay, this one isn't so good. Or we can put a new antenna on this one, which is gonna be a lot cheaper than, well, what's a digital car radio costing?
Yeah, they're
$3 grand?
somewhere around
3 to 4
4,000.
grand a radio, and I'm not, I mean, it'd be cheaper to get them all cell phones.
But you're not gonna be able to communicate in the cell phone area. There's some spots in Lancaster, there's some spots in
Right.
town.
Some
But
places,
there's some spots where you're not
You
gonna
put
get
the
service
radio.
on the radio
That
either.
happens
we
with
ran to
any
that.
type of. Joyce, is this an equipment purchase that could be made under the reserve fund? Or is that language specific to,
Yeah, radio primary equipment, just as type of
so
equipment.
these radios could be purchased out of that reserve fund?
Well, you're saying if it's new radios, what if it's just repairing?
I
It
think,
just says, I don't think it's specific to new or repair.
I think
it's-
the repair, I think for right now, I honestly think that we can get away with.
I think that we should leave it up to you to
Yeah.
figure out your radios.
Figure it out.
And if you
Get it
need
done.
help from us, please let us know.
Okay.
Right.
get them going.
I am going to take under your advisement and look into some backup cameras for the big trucks to put, but I'm looking at some things because you have to take the weather into a fact of these. You can't just go to Walmart and buy a backup camera and put it in there because it'll last about 20 minutes. So I'm looking at some ways that we can do it, but I think it's gonna help as far as backing around vehicles and hopefully create a couple of less accidents. And I think it's the way guys are driving so tired and whatnot, I think it's a good thing to have if we can get it
Good
at a
reminders.
reasonable.
Because they have them that not only just do the back, but they do the sides as well, don't
Right,
they?
because the new truck, the F-550, has a backup camera built right into it.
A lot of your new pickups.
Yeah, most of the new stuff all comes right with it, so it's,
It's not cure-all.
no, it
Because
isn't.
If you've ever driven a vehicle, especially trucks with backup cameras, you get a big draft behind it, and you're kicking up all the stuff, and it covers up the lens. And sometimes you look at it, you don't think there's
Well, these
anything
ones that I've
there.
been looking at get heated lenses.
There's wipers.
Yeah, well, no, they tuck up
That's
in.
what you need.
Right, you're right.
You know,
You're right.
Wipers, so.
There's definitely different things to look at, and they're not 100% fail-safe, but I bet they
99%.
increase, yeah, I bet they increase it a
Yeah,
lot.
rely on
I
it.
have no problem with mine in the pickup, even
Right.
if it's foggy, you can make out
Right.
shadows. It's
My truck.
Plus, it
my
has the
truck works
backup
fine.
alarm with it, so you hear
It
the beep,
helps.
beep, beep.
I
And
will
you know
never
what?
give up my
It
mirrors.
helps the guys backing up to trailers. You can back right onto a trailer without
Oh, yeah.
having.
Yeah.
It's.
Bottom line is they're doing a great job and we need to keep
Yep.
them safe.
Okay. Anything else,
I'm
anybody?
good. I don't know.
I'm good.
Good.
Good night, Brock.
Speak
Made it
now
out
for
alive.
Speak.
Thank you, guys.
Run
Thank you
while
so much for
can.
coming in.
Yeah.
Thank you for all the good work, and please tell the guys how much we appreciate.
Every day I tell them.
Oh my. This was so killer. What do we have? Finance? No, non-public PD. Mr. PD. Tim?
Have a good night, everybody.
Good night. I noticed in one of these
Your
minutes,
issue's taken care of.
Thank you. And I'll help with the radio.
What?
I'll help you with the radio, please.
Okay, thank you.
oh, I thought I marked it. Chief, you coming up? Yep. Tim will come next week with figures from Mango. Brief discussion of having a microphone available for other members in the meeting room.
Yes, we have a microphone for other members in the meeting room, but I don't have, I wasn't able to get a quote in time for the meeting,
Okay.
so
Next
that's
week?
why, hopefully next week.
Yes, please. Yes.
So I'll have that hopefully for you next week. And that's why I thought I'd been scratched off the agenda for tonight.
I just saw in the minutes, didn't want it to get forgotten.
Okay.
You scratched on mine.
Wait a minute,
Thanks.
you're
Mine
non-public.
too.
You've been scratched.
See you.
It's a,
Discussed in
Circle
public.
back to the vehicles.
Okay. Once you go into non-public, under 91A,
That was disgusting.
I don't know if that
Public
covers it.
safety.
I thought I don't have one thing in there that says it, that's why I just did 91A.
Okay. Second.
Roll call vote, please.
Dog, yes.
Constantino, yes.
Dawson, yes.
Scanlon, yes.
I haven't had time to research that, so I'm hesitant to use it. But I do recognize that it's a topic that should be in non-public. Just gonna find
After the last meeting, I met with,
We are red. Red is on, time being 6:30.
That's a flashlight.
It's important.
Does it have a bottle opener?
I wish, that'd have been more handy, but the woman in the store showed it to me, and I pulled my flashlight, I said, I already got one of
If a
those.
smartphone has one, would you get it?
Nope. I wasn't impressed with this one, with a flashlight.
I'll update the job description
Oh,
and send it out tomorrow.
start with you, sir. Thank you. Thanks for doing that. Very timely.
Well, we can't make any change unless Robert signs it. Okay. In your to be signed is a quitclaim deed. Is that one
It's
signed?
over here. No. Let's wait until we discuss before I sign.
Okay. Yes, the individual paid in cash. And I told her you weren't leaving until tonight to sign the deed over, and I'll,
That's very nice, very well played.
also in the to be signed is the Health Trust Benefit Advantage documents. To be signed, I did review them, and they're the same as what we had before. The only difference is, because they're changing the name to Benefit Advantage, Health Trust Benefit Advantage, we had to do a new HIPAA agreement, which means that we will protect their identity, all of our subscribers' identity. And our plan document, and nothing has changed in what we had outlined. I do have one thing I have to check on an employee is, we had an open enrollment on January 1. I have to check the person's date of hire because our policies, we have to wait 90 days before they can enroll in the program. And I don't know if she met the 90 days. If she hadn't met the 90 days, I was going to ask the board for a waiver.
Oh,
It just may be off a month or so. And I'll be very careful in the future. And new hires have to wait 90 days. And it's funny, because I tell them when they are hired, but I didn't catch it. So there's 3, I believe you have all 4 documents, but only 3 of them need to be signed. There are also in the to be signed, there should be 3 disposition of abatement application forms. This is the last of our 2017s, in 2017. We had a good year in terms of not very many 2017 abatements. So all of the 2017s that I've received, Lauren has dealt with. And there are also 2 warrants for you to sign for Lockmere Meadows Affordable Housing. We issue estimated tax bills for them, for the first issue and second issue. And then once we receive their calendar year end financial statements, because it's based on a percentage of their net revenues. And one of them we had to refund. That's one of the abatements, and the other 2 are supplementals. But we came pretty close. Cindy has a Total Notice LLC contract to be signed. This is the company that she's used for a number of years. This does all the tax deed research, tax lien research, and does all the notices and everything. So, Tim,
I noticed in that contract there are a few other things to do besides the deed research. Does she take advantage of all of that, or is this specifically for deed research?
no, she takes advantages of making out the whole mailing and everything, the printing out the notices for the return receipt requested.
Because there was one part of it that was an additional.
It's not here yet.
I'd have to look at it to see. When it comes around, I'll look at it. It's crossed the 2 out.
There you go. Oh, okay.
What did I do?
I was just curious.
I dated it wrong. I'm in the future.
Okay, in your folders, I received guidance from the New Hampshire Municipal Association.
All right,
Did you
that's
read it?
interesting.
So, what they...
Makes it easy.
Yeah, but they do say that to make an announce at a public meeting what we're doing and why. I didn't know if you wanted to do it at this meeting. I haven't notified anybody yet, other than the one person that had inquired. I did call her back and leave a message saying that we did get the information that we had requested, and then I would be getting back to her with...
This doesn't have the parcel on it, all right? Yeah, I got
Oh, I
a
have
little
it
bit
here.
down on the bottom.
I have it here. It is U631.
Okay. So you can do that right now. The town acquired a vacant parcel of land, 0.14 acres. It's totally landlocked, correct?
Yes.
Tax deed on June 24th, 2013.
Those are the abutters. You don't have to give their names, but that's how many.
And the map is U06 Lot 31. It's off of Winter Street. And we will be going forward and selling this property. Are we going to
Offer
do
to the
this by
abutters.
auction, or we're going to offer it just to the abutters?
Yes.
Just solely the abutters?
Yes.
Okay.
Because it...
Otherwise, it's going to be landlocked
Right.
again.
They have no way
That's-
to get to it.
Well, you can't be barred from your property even if it's landlocked. You can walk across the land of another to get to it. You can't be barred from it. They couldn't drive to it. I don't know why somebody would want it, but... All right, so we are going to be offering it to the abutters. And are we going to be doing this sometime in the next few weeks?
You tell me, and I'll gladly send notifications.
Selectmen, do we want to move forward on this?
Mhm.
Definitely.
All right,
Okay, and
Peter, yes?
Yeah.
give a month, three weeks.
Are
And-
all the abutters, do you have addresses, contact information?
Yes.
That's good. I gave it back to you.
Yeah.
So there won't be any problem in getting contact with them? They haven't gone to Florida, Virgin Islands, or Mexico?
I'm gonna send them certified, and I believe you got the updated, did you get the updated?
I'll do it next week.
I think the last meeting we had, I gave that to you,
It's here.
and I don't see where it is. But I'll make this file available to them, and it's as is, where is. I'll send you the notice before I go to them so you can review it.
We're just gonna,
I'll basically use the same type of agreement that we do in the auction.
we're just gonna quick claim it to them.
Yep, as is, where is. I'll give them copies of everything we have, and it's up to them.
You buy it, you keep it.
And it would be awarded to the highest bidder. All right, so this is a go. The New Hampshire Liquor Commission presentation, Kelly J. Cleland, she's Director of Product Development and Sales, will be able to attend our meeting next Thursday on the 18th. I did go ahead and notify the town of Northfield, because they are going to have it on their warrant. They are invited to come and find out more about it.
What about Samberton? Are they
And I will include Samberton as well,
Belmont?
yeah.
Or have they already got it? Have they already got it? Do they already have it?
I don't know, I know Franklin, but I will, yes, I will do that.
Franklin has it, yeah, but I don't know about Belmont.
Belmont and Samberton, okay.
Laconia has it.
Okay, I had sent an email earlier, I have to register for my next course, and it's only during the day, however, it's only on, call it 3 hours, it's 2 hours and 45 minutes. It's on Wednesday mornings from 10 to 12:50, but there's only 6 of them between now and the end of May, when the semester ends. The rest is all done online. So I was requesting if I could just shift adjust on those 6 Wednesdays, and I will just stay and work through the evening. I believe on 2 of those days, we have budget committee public hearings anyway, so, I'd be here working late anyway that night, so. But before I registered, I wanted to make sure that the board was okay with that.
Does anybody object?
No.
So I'm just looking through this total notice contract.
Yes.
And it's in, because there isn't any type of invoice or, that's the only amounts attached to this. So payment to total notice for the registry research under in paragraph 3 above shall be $13 for each parcel searched.
Yeah.
And this is the one. If the town desires to have total notice, prepare notices to mortgagees, lien holders under paragraph 4 above, an additional $5 shall be due for each parcel searched. If total notice mail certified notices under paragraph 5 above, United States Postal Service certified mail charges will be added to the amount due. Total notice will submit its invoice for services rendered at the time delivery is made to the tax collector, and town agrees to pay said invoice within 30 days of its receipt. So there's no monies attached to this.
Right,
We have no dollar figures.
yeah, I can.
So we've
I can
signed a
look-
very opened contract.
Yeah, and it's the same contract that we've been doing.
Right.
But I can look up some invoices for you. I do know that we charge the property owner for all I think it's $10 per notice.
So that was my
And-
question, is how much of this, does she use all of these? All, so it looks like there's 3, the 13 for each parcel, the $5,
Yeah.
and does she have them mail them? Does she have them do everything?
But I'll double
I would
check.
just be curious what it's cost us on average. I know it really isn't much, because I don't think there's that many properties. But I was just curious. Thank
I'll
you.
look. The PD study committee will resume next Monday, just because we haven't met in 3 weeks. Still plugging it away at making contact with particular parcel owners. So hopefully I'll have more to report next Monday. And we received a nice response. Where is that? The letter, he asked me to contact DOT. And he says, "Hi Joyce, this is from Bill Rollins. Please pass along my thanks to the select board. This will make it much easier for the plow drivers to negotiate the turn. I think hatching the area would be fine and should discourage folks from parking there. I have been staying warm, so..." Oh, that's just talking about the weather.
I know, it was cute, I saw it. You didn't ask him about the crosswalk, though. Over to Riverfront Park, or to Tommy Youth Center.
Oh, I
Get her
wasn't
done.
asked, I wasn't asked
It's
to do
easier
that.
to beg forgiveness after you put it down.
I know, that was me. Let's just do it.
Yes. Roller, pan, and some paint.
Okay, I've been plugging away at getting additional carpet bids. I've been able to I contacted 2 people so far. Both have measured. I want to do at least 2 more. So 3 are local and 1's in Concord. And I've only had 1 moving company come, and I still haven't gotten his response yet, but I do have some other names that I can call. I'm anxious to get that done as soon as possible so that it's awarded, so that immediately after town meeting, once it's approved, then we can finish our move and get settled in for the next tax year. I did speak with our contractor for the doors, and he was supposed to be here today. Did he come today and measure? I didn't see him. And it'll be just like the one that we have. So he's on that. I did get the Belknap landscaping estimate. If you want to just pass this around. So everything's been submitted to Geico on that Riverfront Park. And I spoke to the adjuster today, and he said that they'll take a look at it and he'll get back to me as soon as possible. So the summary's on the front page. So there's 4 things. There's the contractor to do the landscaping, remove and install the 5 new granite posts and the bollard, the chains. The electrician's estimate is in there. So I think we've covered everything.
The repairs to the park down there. And Chief, I was wondering, on the fellow who took the drive through the park, is it possible to have him do some community service? You know, they talk to the prosecutor, and I don't know if he's going to court for all that stuff, but maybe we could hit him up for some community service, doing raking or cleaning up or something to go along with
That.
you know, damaging the community. Well,
Yes.
all it takes to run it.
I'll give him the answer. So.
That'd be nice, yeah.
So you can now submit that to the insurance and
I guess I did. I went ahead and
that
sent it.
total amount, and they'll go through his insurance company?
Yep. And then we did receive the balance. Remember you had asked last week or the week before, December 28th, about the deductible, and we did receive the deductible.
Oh, I think that was, Mr. Scanlon asked about that deductible. What, didn't you?
Well, I remember it coming out.
Didn't you ask if their insurance would pay our deductible portion? I didn't. I didn't think of that.
The Geico people?
Yeah. Oh, no, that
Yeah,
was from
was that Pat?
Amica.
Amika, that's
Yeah,
right.
that's the one. Well, I'm glad.
And I didn't know if you wanted
Okay.
to
Will we be back on warrant articles next week?
Well, I was gonna ask you, because nothing has come in or nothing has changed since we last spoke.
Well, except for the one today from Chuck Mitchell.
Oh, yes, yes.
Oh,
You know, and I printed that out. I don't know
Um,
what I did. Well, you received it, right? 'Cause I
Doug
was-
Wakefield. It was the, a motion, we talked about it when they came in earlier last year. It's funny to say that. About the parcel off of School Street that is currently now a park.
Right.
It's a town park. And it was suggested at the time that we take that parcel and put it into, it's not conservation he's doing, is it?
They're putting a, I don't have the thing.
They're going to restrict it in such a way that it could not be sold, built upon,
Developed,
that it
right.
would be forever a green piece of property.
Yeah, a protected.
A wildlife corridor.
And so I tweaked it a little bit, and Chuck answered back and said, yep, looks good. So I told him either way, I could send both, but I'll just send the one that I did
Oh, I think you made some excellent improvements to it. You tightened it right up.
to
think that
NHMA.
was
That
very
way
nice.
you'll be able to tie into,
All right, so you're gonna send that off to local government
Yep.
center?
Yep.
And then we'll have that next week with the rest of them?
Yep.
And you'll have an example of the carpeting warrant article? We may not have the figures to plug into it.
okay, we can do that.
There was one other warrant article, I know I brought it up, and I don't know what others thought of it. We discussed about changing the usage of the funds that are being saved for the island, that it could be used for other types of emergency repairs or
Right.
maintenance, to
That's
free
good.
some of that up. I don't know the best way to write that. I don't know, do we have a consensus that that would be a good thing to
Peter, what do you think? The money, I think, is dedicated strictly for an engineer.
engineering?
Yeah, expand the purpose.
Pat? I think it's brilliant. Can we keep it broad enough so that it could still cover an engineer? I mean, any costs to repairs to the island? Tilton's costs.
Yeah.
Is anyone pursuing having Tilton on the island individually? Because I don't believe the Board of Selectmen in Northfield is.
We talk about this a lot, but
Last I knew, you were gonna check on it,
Yeah.
Joyce.
I'm thinking here. I know that the town of Northfield did something similar. It's called Cypre,
Yes, to the church.
for the Union Church.
Oh, the one down past Sandogity.
Right.
Yep.
It's a cute little church.
And I was going to call Wayne or Glenn, because we still have time if we want to get something on each town's
Yeah.
warrants.
Should
To at
we,
least proceed, you know, do you want to spend legal fees or whatever? And that Northfield should pay the legal fees.
well, I suppose that would get them off the hook for any of the repairs. Liz,
But if we're going to pursue ending up owning it, let's just split the legal fees and be done with it and move on.
Okay.
If we say, oh no, we want we'll take over the island and we'll do all of the whatever, da-da-da-da-da, but you pay the legal fees. People in town of Northfield aren't gonna understand the history, nor are they gonna understand any of what's gone on, and that half of Northfield doesn't want the island. So they're gonna say, oh, here's another one of Tilton's games. No, we don't want it, and they're gonna vote against it. Just the mere fact of doing that. So let's just,
Well, my thought
Be
was
fair about
that they were gonna make it sound like people over there like, oh, they're trying to take it from us, and we're not. It's like Northfield's trying to give
they
it
don't
to
really want it. They've
It
told us for
wouldn't
years
fall
that they don't want it.
just certain people.
it would
There may be other people in town that are like, no, we're not gonna
Yeah,
give that.
you're
Well, it
right.
wouldn't change anything for the residents of Northfield except relieve them of the expense of
Of
the
the
repair
expense,
and maintenance.
right.
But they pay zero, so how are they
Well,
being
no,
relieved?
that's not completely true. They helped pay for the
The
repair of
trees.
the bridge,
The bridge,
the
the
trees.
trees.
I mean, there are some things we've done, but shame on us for not contacting them first, making the case. But they have in the past helped pay for those repairs. It's just that we're looking at a major repair, repairing that shoreline. And they have consistently said, no, I don't think we need to repair it. I don't think they realized that that was just a patch of scrub. And the only reason it's there is because they dug this foundation out
Dumped it in the middle.
and put it there. So, you know, if you could make the case and make them understand that it's still a public use park for everyone, not just Tilton and Northfield residents, but everyone to enjoy. I don't know why it would make such a difference.
Right.
It would just make it easier for the town of Tilton just to go over there and do what needs to be done when it needs to be done, instead of the time delay.
Easier, if people
everyone to
start
enjoy.
making donations or something towards it. for these
Exactly.
Fundraisers. so
We could have fundraisers
We don't
on
have
it.
to go through both towns to, because I think,
They've got a good deal
Could be
going.
pretty
What's
successful.
the incentive for them to?
They don't have to help pay to repair that shore. It is going to
Well, the
hit.
incentive is it's going to end up in the river sooner or later
Here.
if we don't.
You're gonna see some erosion after
Right.
tomorrow's storm. They will have to lower the lake after this storm we're getting tomorrow, from the ice melt, snow melt in Winnipesaukee, August, Opeechee, Winnisquam, Silver.
the,
They will
This
be,
can handle it out there?
no, that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
they
gonna
They
they
release
stop the
that.
dam when the water's lapping the buildings
Yeah,
on Main Street.
and when they release that flow, you're gonna see more of that island go to Franklin.
We'll put John out there like this.
There'll be a reason for the little bridge
Hold
in
on
the
to a
middle.
rock. Hold on to a rock.
I love the little bridge when there's no water, but there will be water for that bridge. Yeah. You mark my words.
It'll all
So-
be water.
If we don't do something soon, the island will be gone. And that is the one project that the Board of Selectmen, regardless of who's sitting on it, has said no to.
and the other thing is jurisdiction with enforcing the vagrants that come through, or vandals, or that the Northfield Police would have to come, because they're partly responsible too for doing
Well, the
that.
chief has an agreement with them.
Yeah, that we can patrol the Northfield part of it.
So
Okay,
that's their incentive.
all right. Maybe this will be the year. And the only other thing that I've done with the warrant articles is, I read those two revitalization statutes, and what I would be recommending to the board, again, we can talk about it next week, because I do have a few more questions on it. The one that's been around, the commercial and industrial statewide, this one, community revitalization tax relief incentive. This program has been around for quite some time, since 2013, and communities that have used it are Allenstown, Wolfboro, Pittsfield, Winchester, Belmont, and Franklin. I'm sure there's probably more, but I tried to stay with the smaller communities like us that have little downtowns. And from the few that I've talked to said, oh yeah, they don't get that many applications, but every now and then you can hold it out as an incentive to someone that wants to fix up one of our buildings here. And basically all it does is it just gives them some relief to when they make their improvements, and it has to be it's real strict on what kind of improvements they make, and they have to do a lot of work. Like they have to go do all the historical resources. What is it, the 106 plan with the state, that you just only tax no, don't want to confuse it with this one, is that they get they're not taxed on the improvements that they make. They're still being taxed, but the improvements that they would be assessed for art tax, and I believe it's for a period of 5 years, and there are covenants in place to protect it. So this is, I don't see that anyone could lose, the town couldn't lose on this, and also it's something we offer. And I know Dari and I have been talking about this for a couple of years, and he has spoken to the planning board about it, and they were intrigued. And it would be restricted just to the downtown, unless there's someplace else in town, like a farm or something that you wanted to, because you have to designate the area that could take advantage of it. And then the other one, because it just was passed in 2017, and it's very complicated, and I would prefer to wait and see. I know a number of communities have it on their warrants this year, but I'd like to wait and see how it work out the kinks before we work out the kinks.
That was good.
So, but I'll have something a little more formal to bring that to you. And other than that, I think that's it.
Does the local government center print out a timeline for town meeting
You should.
that
Blotter.
includes the budget responsibilities?
And when they have to deliver their things, yes, it's on that list.
I don't see it, because I picked up the calendar from the Secretary of State's office and the new New Hampshire Constitution book.
I could go print that out.
Oh, I see it.
Does that say
Okay, got it.
2018? The one on the table, does it say 2018?
This is it, Department of Revenue, that's what I was looking for, thank you. Okay,
Like their deadline to get the warrant.
so
the
these
budget
two
in.
combined give you the full picture. That's Department of Revenue, good. It'd be nice to have both of these on one sheet, but this is good, okay.
So.
Because our warrant is due February 26th, so we need to move along.
The other question we should do is I sent out the notices for the town report. And so you need to be thinking of a dedication and a theme.
I liked your idea of the theme.
That again. It's every year.
I know, huh?
We gotta do this every year.
Because I didn't want to start collecting pictures and things. Catherine did give me a picture of the monument, the Mary Baker Eddy monument, and told me where it was located. So that's a start. And I know that we already have a lot of pictures on like the statues and things. So, you know, I can just collect.
I can look through the books that I have at home and see if there's something that isn't in the case or up here.
And we may be able to get some nice outdoor pictures before we go to print.
The picture with, tire guy, Firestone. When the camping trip, they came through town, stayed at Ideal Hotel. It was Firestone, Edson.
Oh, yeah,
Three of
yeah.
them.
Yeah. And I contacted Judy Huckins, because I'm sure there's other well-known people that are buried in the Park Cemetery. I want people to get out and go visit all these places in town that we have.
We have a map of the historical walking tour that was
I know.
printed a while ago.
I'm going to get information from there and
Yeah.
a number of other places. So people feel like their handbook to like, oh, I didn't know that. You know.
That would be cool, so the town report would actually, could be a handbook to walk. That's interesting.
So someone to dedicate the town report to? Can I throw out
You better
I
write
was
it.
gonna say,
Gail, so last year, how many did we print up?
Well, 300. And then they gave us extras because
They messed up the pages.
And I believe they're all,
They are,
yeah, because I kept putting them out on the camera.
I think they are.
I think it's an
They might
excellent
be
idea.
more. So 300, but we'll have them printed by the guys who did before, yeah.
I think it was done.
Yeah, right.
could be.
Okay. And does he charge extra for black and white pictures? I don't think that he
So
would.
those are two. We're not sure if this one hasn't been
And
done.
just have the cover color, and then we'll just do all the rest as black and whites.
Yeah.
but it's probably gonna be more pages.
But
that
Ashley
will
needs to
inspire
do
us
this
with
too.
that. Yes, absolutely.
And do you have anybody?
It's gonna be a snapshot in
We
time.
forgot to start thinking about that.
Maybe that would be the snapshot in
First
time.
one, the first one on the list,
Has that been done before? I don't believe so.
We talked about it, but
that
because
would
they
be my
weren't
first
official.
choice then.
Yeah, okay.
Well, that's,
We haven't
actually
decided
need-
yet.
Oh,
We
yeah.
have to have
That's just preliminary.
Yeah.
preliminary.
Yeah,
Ashley
I'll look
needs
and
to
see.
be, and John's thinking, and
And
Peter's
Oh, that's-
we have
thinking.
something else they'll add or whatever.
I can tell another storm's coming.
I do.
What is it, Bombogenesis? What was the name of that storm that we just had? That goes on in my head. The cyclone thing, with when the barometer was,
Always intend.
so I could feel something coming up.
Always have.
So I think that's all I have for right
You know, I
now.
was thinking of that
That's a
one.
good one.
But
Well, we wouldn't have that new, yeah, so there's another name.
But, you know, I was thinking, people that always attend town meeting and always participate in it, but
And that's a person who loves this town.
I think I know who you're talking about.
Been here
Wait for the
forever.
mics before you say any more.
you know,
Did you write it
it's
down?
on the paper.
It's on the back. Any more for the administrator?
Ah,
You got another one? Any? Yeah,
no, that's,
just one thing, you know, I was,
We're gonna have to draw stress.
what do you call
Need my
it?
paperback.
Perusing our
I can give it to you after.
website, and so I said, I'll take a look at the master plan. Well, one thing I noticed is, like, the Public Works, the equipment list is dated 2003 on our master plan, of all about the trucks we had in 2003. Sewer plan is dated 2001, of all the great things we're gonna do with the sewer, our recreation areas and everything. After looking at the master plan, it doesn't fit anything. It really needs, can we start doing that and send stuff out? I didn't even look at the
It's a
police
planning
department,
board.
but I'm sure whatever has been going on.
well, this has been Dari's, on his goals and objectives.
Well,
The master plan has gone over, since I've been a selectman, at least 5 times with no final results.
So, let me ask this, does it have to be like a huge thing, or can there be an amendment where the Public Works submits, okay, yeah, our assets are this, that, and that, and that. The sewer department says, this is what we're working on the North Sewer extension. The police department say, you know, we're
If you
doing this.
talk to like Lakes Region Planning or the State Planning Commission down there, they'll tell you that they're feeling, you don't have to, you do what you want, but you take your existing master plan, and I think we are really technically, it's what, 1998?
Something like
You
that.
take the existing master plan and you update it, because it's supposed to be a continuity.
A living, breathing document.
Exactly.
So that's what you do, is you take this and you go forward and bring it to today and into the future. This is what we've done, this is what we want to go to. And, you know, I don't know, it's,
We're looking at 16 years of untouched information that's, I mean, 16 years.
I have a file.
That,
Oh,
I
this
can't see
of all the
why
work.
we couldn't at least go through and have the people, the departments that are responsible for it, take a look with the highlighter and a pen and say, hey, because I was a little shocked when I read it. And if nobody's ever read it for the last 15 years, you'll see there's a lot changed. And our community has grown. Our community has changed. The demographics have changed. And, you know, people that want to invest into our community or that, if they look at that master plan, it's kind of,
So
It's grown up a lot since then.
as a member of the planning board, we're supposed to use that. I mean, that's kind of your guide to, somebody comes in and wants to do something crazy, agricultural, residential, you look at that and go, well, that's not what our master plan shows
No,
for
but
that community, so it's
Yeah,
really
we
hard
didn't have
to
to,
take the 1998 and actually use it in that manner.
and there's nothing about the senior center, or not the senior center, but the Grange being used for the seniors and all the great things that are being on seniors. It's,
That's on our website, John?
yeah,
Should we take that off our website?
No,
We have to
No,
do
wait,
that
wait, wait, wait,
technically-
let me finish, and put site being updated at the moment.
Nope, because we're supposed to have a master plan in place and that's
Okay.
it.
Okay.
but if you go on there, under the planning board, if anybody wants to find it, click on the planning board, and the first document you see on the planning board will be right there, and it's PDF, you can open it up, and maybe anybody could take a highlighter to it.
Would you just mention to
Yes,
Dari that we need
yes.
to move on that?
Yeah, but I mean, there's nothing to prevent us sending something out to all the department heads to update their statistics.
No, that would be helpful.
And then get it back to me.
And then Dari is really good on, he can do all that, the Office of State Planning kind of machinations to get future projections. But what would really be interesting, and it would be kind of time consuming, but it would be a fun project, is to actually, I don't even know what date you'd start, but to be able to analyze the growth that we've had, let's say the past 6 years or whatever, and where do we want to go, and what's the plan for how we're going to treat development going forward, and having something in there about
Cluster developments, because that's really where we're only at now.
yeah,
We're pretty well, the horse is out of the barn in development, we're pretty well
Yep.
done.
Yep.
Pretty well done, unless we're gonna change the zoning in the rural agricultural area.
right. But yeah, so we can go ahead and I'll do that and just everybody update the departments.
John?
And the other thing was, do you know if we did anything with renumbering the diner, Franklin Savings Bank, Evans?
I know Dari sent information what the board wanted, that you were going to leave the name Laconia Road, just change the numbers.
If that got
If
done.
that was implemented, I'll find out.
He needs to work on Main Street as soon as possible. We've been doing the housing standard inspections, and wow, wow. I knew it was bad, I didn't know it was that bad.
And like, I think we all decided, we just have to say, this is it.
We gotta get her done. It's not safe.
Okay.
Anything else for the administrator?
For the administrator, no, I have a
Thank you,
couple of things
Joyce.
to
All
bring
right,
up.
selectmen's reports.
I have a couple of things. There was, somebody backed into the ramp at the senior center, did you follow through on that?
I sent it to Brock.
Okay.
Was that the post?
Yeah,
thing?
but I didn't get an accident report or anything. What happened?
Apparently she
what-
spoke with you. Right. I'll just,
I know that that individual left a voicemail message for me wanting Catherine's number.
and that was the number, that was the message.
That was the message? I
Yeah.
could not,
I suggest that you
couldn't-
call her back and find out and have Brock go up and take a look at it so we
Okay.
can,
Okay.
it moved a little, we need to know that it's safe because it's a wheelchair ramp.
You know,
Okay, this
I-
is in the front.
Yep.
Okay.
I got a message and listened to it, and for the life of me, I could not, you couldn't hear all of the message, you could only hear pieces. So I heard post, I heard the first name, and I'm like,
Yeah,
oh, that sounds like, I wonder if it is.
right.
Okay.
And that's what prompted me. I said, you know what, I'll send this out to see if anybody else got it. That's why I sent the message about the post.
Yeah. I'm like,
So if you just give her a call,
I will.
All right,
Do you
good,
have her
well, I'm
telephone
glad that's
number, right?
resolved.
I can get it.
I got it.
Oh, you got it?
All right, so that, the other thing is that, you know, that odor that comes back every single year, it comes back, but it's not really as bad this year, but it is there. I'm suspecting,
Here in this building?
no, the senior center, we're still on the senior center. that it may be that, I won't swear online, but we can shut the camera off, then I'll swear. It's that thing that the sewer commissioners made us put in that we never use.
The grease trap, yeah,
Yeah, the
clean?
grease trap.
Don't they have to be cleaned periodically?
Yeah,
Peter?
Joe Jessamine said he would clean it periodically. He does clean it periodically, but it's
Well,
still,
then
grease
then
would
if
go
you
down there?
screwed the cover back on tight, how is it?
They don't, yeah, because I had one at Dunkin' Donuts.
well, then there's an odor of some sort, and we've had Terminex in there several times.
Any sink anywhere that hasn't been used that the trap's dried out so the odor comes right back through?
No.
Okay, I don't know.
we have
That's usually.
2 bathrooms and a kitchen, and they're used all the time.
And it's not like they cook food there, it's all,
No,
gets heated and then.
just gets heated. They do cook, they make a soup or something, and then, but it's not grease.
You know, dishwashers have been sitting empty for a while.
The dishwasher's getting used all the time.
Well, I would have somebody
It's a
check the
commercial
grease
dishwasher.
trap that knows how to do a grease trap,
Look
because
at the heat. Your
if it
gas.
isn't done on a regular basis,
You might
It's a
want to
god-awful
go
smell.
and check all the fittings on the gas too, because this time of year, when it gets cold like that, you get a lot of gas leaks.
So we should call the gas company and ask them to check the fittings on it.
They should get it, and they could take a squirt
lighter
bottle with
pad.
Windex or something like that.
gas is a very distinctive odor.
I've seen a lot of people not even realize.
Mistake it for something else.
I could bring my son down, he works for Rhymes.
No,
If
just,
you think
give it
it's
a
gas, I could bring him in, he'd know what
well, it might, I mean, it's a good point. I have not smelled it. I can't, you can't bring me in there and say, hey, smell this, because I'm not a very good person to do that.
Do they get the odor when it's not been used for a few
Yes,
days?
they do,
So John may be onto something with the
right. And
natural
it's in the
gas.
back area where all the gas pipes are, where the
There you go.
furnace is and everything.
When is somebody there?
From 9 a.m. until 1:30 every day.
Turns on the light in the morning.
Not me.
I can ask him to see if he could
The only
just,
day he's
Stop.
not there is
Give a
Friday.
sniffer or something too.
I could ask him to stop. I mean, he wouldn't mind doing that.
Do it on like a Sunday
So like a Monday,
or
when-
early Monday, yeah.
early Monday when nobody's there,
Or on.
You got a little sniffer
Jane
tool
can meet
too.
him there.
Well,
I-
I mean, we could always call Liberty, I mean.
Em could
Well, I was
use
just
it.
thinking,
yes.
it's
Wouldn't cost,
crazy.
right.
I mean, he can go in and tell you, is
Yeah.
this what it is? And then it's yes or no.
Mhm.
If it's no, we gotta look further. If it's yes,
Well,
you know
nobody's
you've
gonna
gotta
be
call
there.
somebody to fix it.
Somebody will be there Friday night, there's a group. But then Saturday, and then if he went in on Sunday, it would be closed all day Saturday.
Oh, but you could let him in
Propane or
on a
is it-
Saturday.
I could let him in on a Saturday or a Sunday.
Oh, okay, then I'll ask him. I'll ask him tomorrow if he'd mind doing that, and I'll get in
Alright.
touch with you.
Okay.
Because that's what I'm saying, is let's not spend any money.
Sunday would be Jane, but
Quick.
Saturday would be me. I
Yeah,
would
but
glad to
when-
do it.
You know, he'll tell you in a second if that's what it
But
is.
the other thing is, we need an answer on this one. This is, it's that time of year again for Pro Bodwell and Faith Tobin. I wonder if Faith is doing it this year, because Bill is awfully sick. For the scarves and the scarves and hats, and they would like to do it this Sunday and Monday, if it's okay. She says, sorry not to ask sooner, the deep freeze has slowed them down. Same
Just
place
said they're a
on
little
Main
late.
Street, same place on Main Street, trees, and then by the former bank.
I think it's a great thing.
Yeah,
Get her
Any
done.
objection? Peter,
Get
you're
her
good?
done.
Get her done.
very wonderful.
Tell him thank you, thank you.
Yep.
Right. And then the other thing is, I noticed in the manifest that we're still holding on to a Home Depot credit card that we talked about this almost a year ago, that we said to get rid of the Home Depot because we all have, each department has a Visa or MasterCard, whatever it is. Visa, and that we use that instead. So we're paying a Home Depot, it was like $20 plus whatever interest it is. Can we make a motion or something to get rid of that Home Depot card? Because it's your department, chief.
And the Lowe's. There's a Lowe's one too, Tim said.
Okay, and there's a Lowe's one too. To get rid of those and use the Visa, because it's cheaper for the town to do that, and it's easier for Tim to do the finances on that, can we make sure that we do?
Oh, make a motion to discontinue the Lowe's and the
Home Depot.
Home
Home
Depot.
Depot credit cards. I like cheaper is better.
And use the
And use the Visa.
Visa, because
Save the town money.
Second,
Any more discussion of this topic?
aye.
Yes, can we have those cards returned to us? Immediately.
Oh, they would be.
Chief, can you get those cards to Joyce tomorrow?
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you. And you do have your the Visa, right?
Yeah, we do.
Okay,
We
good.
keep that.
so it's either you or the captain that goes to those, right? I mean,
Usually the cap.
okay.
All right.
So
Yeah.
you're covered
I think
either way.
yeah.
If you needed to go, you would have that.
You got the Visa.
You got the Visa, right?
The Lowe's one we had it because they had some 0% financing thing when we did it. And that's
For the kitchen.
for the kitchen.
Downstairs, you did it.
No, that's an interesting thing, because if you do use the Lowe's card, you get 5% off.
Yeah, you get a discount plus we got 0% financing.
In Home Depot, you can buy
Don't.
things, no interest, certain
And you
amount.
get, I think you get a discount, so maybe they should be,
We used to do projects with them and that's how we save money with them.
But the $20 here and $20 there in the Home Depot is not saving us money.
No, yeah.
But the Lowe's, I can
Yeah, the
kind
bigger,
of see that
like
point, but
$50 on 1,000.
there was one project we did with Home Depot too.
the 5% back on the Lowe's is in there 0% finances if we can pay it off in that, which Tim
Which
does.
we do, yeah.
So,
Maybe put
All
them in
right.
Tim's possession.
so maybe we should,
Talk to Tim.
rather than discontinue them or eliminate them, we should stop using them for everyday purchases. And maybe they should reside at the finance office until we need them for a project. Does that make more sense?
Might save
Well,
some.
providing there's some sort of, if there's no savings, get rid of them, but if there's a savings, then whichever card or cards has
Have Tim
savings, keep
double
them.
check
Okay.
any
So
financing.
before, let's table the
I'll withdraw
motion.
my second.
Yeah, let's table the motion, let's find out more information, and we'll bring it up next week. And let's get those cards into the finance office so we can have Tim investigate them, please. Thank you, Chief. Anything else, Selectman? I have given you all, from Jesse, his language to add a fee, he's calling it a fee, for failure to appear for inspection. $50. So if you would all look at that, I don't want to do anything with it until Ashley's here, but if you'd like to look at that and see what you think of the language. It's Jesse's language, so if you have any questions about it, I'd email him. Okay?
Is this the housing thing?
This is the housing standards. It will require public hearings per the housing standard ordinance to change it.
Can we get in touch with those people that wanted to be on the housing committee before town meeting to establish that committee so that we don't?
Well, I don't believe that the same people that were on the housing committee before should be on the housing committee now because we had too many, as per the warrant article, we had too many landlords on it.
So is this like the Housing Standards Advisory Board?
Yes, so it's a different board, and I believe Dari has some people that he
Well,
was going to
Marion
call.
Abbott's a resident.
As long as there's, I don't believe,
I only have
I
one
don't remember
name.
what it said, but I believe that there was only supposed to be one landlord, and there were at least 3, if not 4. Which is why the housing ordinance is so landlord-friendly and not town-friendly. But
She would be
we're making
considered
it
as a
work.
resident.
They did a lot of hard work on it, and we have a document, and that's a good thing. Now we just need to give it a little
And you're
tweaking.
implementing it.
Yes, we are. And that's where we're finding the few little tweaks, so.
I just don't want to be caught off guard at town meeting when they say, well, where's the committee, advisory committee, and we don't have one. So if Dari's
Joyce,
getting
would you
that
just
set,
remind him?
let's just get it moving. I know we had asked Marion, and Marion said yes, she would but she's a resident now. She's not, I mean, she used to
Yeah,
be a
she
tenant,
was-
but she's not paying.
Just with this, so that,
I don't have any other names. Oh,
I believe Dari has some.
well, that would be great.
I think he does.
Whoever wants
It
to
can't
be
be
on it is
absolutely.
fine for me.
But Joyce, if you just let them know that we really need to get that going.
Mhm.
But we don't need it to change. That's the authority of the Board of Selectmen, as per the housing ordinance. They should actually be looking at it for changes to bring to us.
I think too, aren't they supposed to meet once a year?
I don't remember. I think it's more than that. Anything else? We good?
Motion to adjourn.
No, wait a minute, what about?
Oh, hold that thought. Oh,
This is
Where'd it
very
go?
important.
Very, very important. It's very important.
thank you, Gail.
You're welcome.
So,
You're the best.
we have been recognizing employees that have given some years of dedicated service to the town of Tilton. And one of those employees has reached a 10-year mark. And that would be Chief Robert L. Cormier.
Mm-hmm.
And you're here.
Thank you.
Will you come on over?
Yeah,
You gotta
Chief.
come receive it.
So we have just a little document to show our sincere appreciation to your 10 years of service to the town.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Not even gray.
And if you would give that to Gail, I'd really like to have Ashley sign it so it's
Official. Welcome.
it's all of us.
Oh, it's very nice.
Yeah, yeah. So let Gail have it and get Ashley. We'll have Ashley sign it and we'll give it back to you.
Is that the longest you've ever worked somewhere? 10 years?
Don't jinx them.
Right?
No, I mean, I think it's a milestone.
Yeah, it is, actually, it is. And you know what, and I love it here, I really do, and it's been great.
Yeah, this is the longest I've ever worked in a year. Very no judgment.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
As long as
It survived.
the board of committee.
All right, selectmen at the end.
Ms. Bestick, are you done?
Yes, Dick.
I'm
Are
sorry,
you done?
are we done?
Are you?
Yes,
Motion to adjourn.
thank you.
Second. Vote with your feet.
Vote with your feet. There you
Let's
I
go.
was telling Dari and
That's all.
That was funny. I was like, feet on the
I
table.
was telling Dari